a new segment on Attorneys with Swag. This is I'm going to try my best to get this, a PAWSA, Public Attorneys with Swag announcement. And on this PAWSA, I'm looking directly at you, family member or friend. Pay your friends bail. Pay your family members bail. As a public defender, even you used to be a prosecutor, you would know this. Your case got a lot worse if your client was not incarcerated. My client gets a lot better if my client is not incarcerated. There's a lot of leverage. There's a lot of leverage to not being in jail. One, you can get into a program, and what I tell my clients is that if you're not in jail and you have a really shitty case, what you better do is build what I call a resume of good behavior. This is, you committed a crime allegedly, probably you did it, or probably you did it, whatever. This guy wants jail time, and the only way we're not going to get jail time is by giving him a resume of good behavior. You did a program, you got a job, I know someone that's about to join the military. You do what you got to do to have a resume of good behavior, and you cannot do that while incarcerated. I mean, in theory, you can get your GED and do a bunch of things in Rikers, but I don't think that really holds that much sway to a prosecutor. And for that reason, assuming you want your friend, your family member, your husband to get the best disposition in their criminal case, you should go through all these hoops that we're talking about and help them get bailed out. What do you think?
I do agree that you should help your family. Look, the truth of the matter is, bail is not supposed to be a punishment. It's just so that the wheels keep turning in this system of alleged justice that we have, right? And the only way it works is if we treat it properly. The first thing is, people have to have an opportunity to be heard in court. And they can't be heard in court if they don't come back to court. That's why they make all these rules. But the truth of the matter is, and the most important thing they need to know is, bail is not a punishment. And if somebody is demanding bail on a case where they don't even want jail time, that to me is a fundamental kind of harm. Truthfully.
That was a lot.
Additionally, and this is really, really important, right? We shouldn't be using detention as a way to force people to admit guilt to crimes they didn't commit, or maybe that they have defenses to, right? People, if you ask for bail, you put somebody in the cell, and then you come back in 6 days later and say, oh, I want 5 days jail time or a time served sentence, that is fundamental corruption. Clear as that, right? And I think that everybody here would agree that if you're putting somebody in custody, that goes on an expedited schedule. Can't be on the same schedule as everything else going on in the courthouse, right? When a case is not on, doesn't have bail, that person should have more time. The DA's office doesn't have to see that case next week. But if you're in custody and the DA's office meets certain burdens, right? One of the big ones is if you have a misdemeanor, you have what's called a 170-70 date, which is a date in which you have to convert the charges. You have to provide a supporting deposition. You don't have to be ready for trial. You have to cure the hearsay. That means the allegations that you cannot confirm through direct statements of a witness. If you have a case that's a felony, you have to get it indicted within 145 or 125 hours, depending on the time in which the case starts. If you do that, then the person's going to be staying in. But that doesn't mean they should be sitting there for months while the DA's office spins their wheels. That's not fair. Get the discovery out ASAP and get that case in front of a judge 2 weeks, 3 weeks maximum. And that's what needs to happen, because people need to be seeing the judge and need to be hearing what's going on in their cases. That's why people feel like the system's so unfair, because they're not seeing the information that's being held indefinitely.
And more importantly, pay that fucking bail. Help them out. Try your best. PAWSA. All right, now back. Sorry, it's hard to say that. But all right.